Living the good fat life with your host Karen and Sherri. They'll help everything align for your body, soul, and mind. The good fat life, whether change comes slow or dramatically. The good fat life will help you sort things out organically.
Me laugh every time,
which is just so thank you, Wally.
Pleasant. So pleasant, isn't it?
It is, and it was fun to write out the lyrics for this issue. Right. So speaking of issues, we have a new issue coming out tomorrow.
Bloom, right?
Bloom
is the theme of the magazine, right?
Right, and it feels blooming right now, right?
It does.
Spring coming. And so, Karen, where do people, if they want to subscribe, we're going to say that because we always forget to say that.
Well, first of all, you can go on our QR code that's going to pop up during the podcast, and then also go to www.goodfatlife.com and subscribe to our magazine. You can get it digitally, or you can get a hard copy at home.
And what's the text code?
Oh, the text code. Shoot, Sherri.
Okay. All right. We'll find it because that's the easiest way to sign up. Yes. Okay. So today we have some really amazing guests, and we are actually sponsoring one of their events, which we're so excited about and just so, I don't know, heartfelt, I guess is the only word I can use to have our guests here and hear their stories and what they have to say.
Well, and they really are about blooming and giving hope and love and laughter and life. So it kind of ties in, and I'm really excited.
And new life.
Right? And care
and hope. And
So today we have Sue Johnston. She is the co-chair of Michigan Walk of Hope, and Leandra Fisher. Today to talk to us about what they're doing and their projects and what's coming up for them. So thank you both for being here. Sue, would you like to start?
Sure. Yeah. Thank you so much for having me. I'm really excited. But my name is Sue Johnston, and I'm of the Infertility Advocate. I'm an ambassador with Resolve, the National Infertility Association. And I have support groups locally and nationwide that I help people who are struggling to build their families. In any capacity, I will help them. And basically, I was on the receiving end of Resolve about 30 years ago when I was struggling to have our one and only miracle son. And after I had him, I basically knew in the back of my mind I wanted to do more to give back. And fast forward, I wrote a book about my journey and the journey of other people I met in infertility, and decided that I can't just write a book. I need to be the person in the community to help people. And it was through my help and support with Resolve that I decided I wanted to do a walk of hope. And I met Leandrea because she was interested in the same thing.
Could you tell us, Leandra, how you came to Infertility and Resolve?
Absolutely.
You were interested in that?
And thank you so much for having us both.
Welcome.
Like you said, I'm Leandra Fisher of Hope Infertility, and infertility is also a part of my personal journey. My husband, Rodney, and I have been challenged to grow our family for many, many years. It was the desire to have community and connection that really caused me to seek the support of others. I spent so many years of my journey being alone and really looking for a way to connect. And so that is what led me to not only start Hope Infertility in 2018, but to also think about how could this challenge have a greater purpose. And that was when I began to explore what would it look like to have outreach and to have an actual event. And the Walk of Hope was an awesome name, but I didn't realize that it belonged to Resolve.
Okay.
And so reaching out to Resolve about wanting to have a Walk of Hope was how I connected with Sue Johnston. And we were strangers when we met. It was this desire to have this event here in Michigan, which we're so proud that it is the first Walk of Hope that Michigan has ever had in 2019. And we came together, the dynamic duo. We became fast friends.
Yeah, I can see that.
Yeah, we became fast friends. The first time that we met, literally, we were like, we're going to do this together. Yeah. And we're good. And Sue was like, well, do you want to be in charge? And I can support you. I said, no. We're co-chairs. We're doing this together. And it wouldn't be what it has been without this partnership. We look at other DIY walk chairs across the nation and just marvel at the fact that you have people who do it alone, but we've been able to really support one another, and we hope that Michigan appreciates that.
Yeah, of course.
So the Walk of Hope is it's a national event through Resolve. Is that correct?
Well, actually, yes. I would say that National Infertility Awareness Week is a nationwide awareness week where we bring community together, we support one another, we have activities every week, every day of the week, and some cities have started the do-it-yourself DIY Walk of Hopes. Not every city, because it's a huge effort, and we're very fortunate that we met each other in January of 2019, and within 2 months, we were like up and ready to do our Walk of Hope. And the Walk of Hope, well, it's basically threefold: to provide awareness, to bring the community together.
So awareness, can you just give me a couple more sentences? Well, awareness to what?
Infertility awareness. Okay. 1 in 8 people are impacted by infertility. In other words, they have difficulty trying to conceive or have a child of their own. That's basically the same amount of people who suffer from breast cancer. But infertility is very delicate, and people feel isolated, and they don't really want to talk about it that much. But I feel like sharing our stories can be so empowering to change legislation, break down barriers, help people understand the impacts that this has. It affects people to the core of their being, and many suffer in silence. And we here in Michigan want them to know that they are not, that you are not alone. That's why we even have our shirts that say you are not alone in Michigan. Go ahead. I was going to say, and the third thing we do is we fundraise for Resolve, which is the largest infertility association. It's a 501c3 nonprofit based out of McLean, Virginia. Resolve provides free support groups, free programs, and advocacy for affordable access to care. So their, major fundraising is through donations, grants, and fundraisers like the Walk of Hope.
Okay.
Yes.
Thank you for doing that. I actually have a story that I'll share for my infertility. We tried, and I didn't have to go through IVF or anything, but we tried for 12 years. And I remember I was watching the nature documentary, and there was this lion, and she couldn't have children, and she was sort of ostracized from the pack, and she, like, flies were around her, and she just looked so sad and isolated. And I just thought, I feel like that lion, like I'm being isolated from the pack because I can't reproduce. And I just really felt that way. And thank goodness we ended up having children naturally, but it did feel so isolating. Like, what is wrong with me? So thank you for doing that for people and bringing people hope and be able to put words to that.
Right. Yes, I think that is so critical. I want to go back to your earlier point. Resolve for many years had what they call signature walks. And so the Walk of Hope was an initiative that they started, again, to provide the funds. But the walk, such as what we're doing, the DIY walk, is for anyone who is interested in creating community and supporting Resolve. So that's the distinction there. Okay. And even in the midst of this pandemic, they've decided that those signature walks are really beyond their scope of capability. Oh. So walks like this really help to make the difference. And it's exactly what you're saying. When we came together in 2019, it was a beautiful thing to see. It was an instant community of people that were, in essence, strangers. We had people that came from Toledo. I believe we even had someone come. I know my brother came from Chicago, but there were others because it was the closest walk around where we could come together and to link arms. It really makes a difference.
And it makes your family bigger. Your family is growing in that way.
Oh, I just, now I'm getting to it, right? It's
Right.
So can you just talk a little bit about what the walk looks like, the DIY walk?
Absolutely. So we understand that in the midst of this pandemic, it's a little bit different. So we'll be gathering together this year virtually, but it was an opportunity for us to come together and to literally link arms. So if you've participated or seen maybe a run for or a walk for breast cancer or getting together to support the Ronald McDonald House, similarly, that's what we planned. We asked for people to come together to support, to create teams and to do fundraising to help us to reach our goal, and literally to come together to say, hey, I'm okay with identifying as 1 in 8, but I'm here to support you. So we had family members that came and co-workers that came. It was a beautiful event. And the walk is a bonus, right? Getting out in the sunshine in the spring weather is a bonus. But coming together and being able to say, hey, you can physically see my presence, and I hope that you can feel my support. That was what we endeavored to do in 2019.
Exactly. And just to take that a step further, I also feel that it's a great resourceful event, so the community can see what resources are available. We have a fertility yoga specialist. We have, reproductive medical clinics that came and sponsored us, and we have like acupuncturists who help people to relax and become more healing in their mind, body, and just prepare themselves for hopefully a pregnancy or a resolution that they feel comfortable with. Adoption agencies.
I was going to just ask.
Yes.
I was going to
we have LGBTQ resources. All kinds of family building journeys are on the horizon, and you don't know which one you may end up with, but people say, oh, I didn't realize that so-and-so was doing this, or I didn't realize that this was an option for me to pursue, to seek support. So it's just very empowering. The whole week of National Infertility Awareness Week is empowering, but the do-it-yourself walks, well, I've got to say I'm a little partial to that.
I agree.
Plus just the physical movement, just keep moving forward, right?
Right, exactly.
Right.
Yes.
Well, that's one of our big foundational pieces at Good Fat Life, right? Is that a couple things? Is that if you eat good fat, your body's healthy and you feel good, and it works well. But also that connection. It's that people don't know. You could be looking for something and have a desire, but you just don't know that person who could help you is out there.
Right.
And those people who could help you don't, need help connecting with the people that are looking for them.
Exactly.
So we're just delighted to be able to be part of this.
Thank you.
I mean, and if
We're
it helps
delighted
create some new
love.
new little ones,
and
or,
family,
or some peace around all of that.
Yeah.
That's just makes my heart sing.
Talk to us about some of the miracle stories you guys have heard.
Oh, well, I think mine's a pretty miraculous story.
Okay.
I, like I said, I became an ambassador for Resolve because my journey was 10 years long. I had unexplained infertility, and that's a real hard diagnosis to hear because you just don't have anything to put your finger on and figure out if I had something wrong, I could fix it. But everything always looked picture perfect for me. But for a decade of my life, I would have wonderful embryos that would go to blastocyst, and I would have lots of eggs, lots of sperm. Everything looked wonderful, but just when they implanted the embryos, and I had over 40 of them transferred during my journey, none of them would stick except one miracle son out of it.
But she gets a lot of play out of that.
Yeah, he does. My son is, I just have to say this, my son is a scientist. He's a paleontologist, actually.
Wow.
And he, when he was a little boy, he used to say, "Mom, I'm a science experiment," because he always loved the fact that,
and the prodigal son.
Yeah. So, and my husband was going out to sea. My husband was an active duty naval officer, and he would deploy and go away for 6 months at a time. So, it's difficult to endure IVF on its own, but when your spouse, your support system is across the sea, it's even a larger challenge. So Resolve became my lifeline, and I joined Resolve at Greater San Diego and met 10 women that I just felt like if it weren't for them, they became my family, and they gave me shots, and they were there for me for, if I had to have a D&C or to help me, rejoice when it finally did happen. And we've remained good friends, and we wrote a book, and here we are today. So that's a little bit about my journey. And I just wanted to give back because I know that Resolve was a lifeline for me, and I feel like I can help someone else coming up behind me and perhaps be a lifeline for them too.
Yeah.
Yes.
Wow. Leandra, could you share with us the part what the part of your journey is, where you are in your journey now? Or?
Well, if you don't mind, I would be happier to share a miracle.
Sure. Okay.
Right?
Yes, absolutely.
So,
yes.
In 2019, again, the first physical walk that we had, I met a dear friend, and we talked, and we said, well, I'm going to Advocacy Day in Washington, D.C., which is another part of what Resolve offers, an opportunity for us to walk the Hill, Capitol Hill, and to meet with our legislature. And I said, oh, well, it looks like I'm going too. The two of us, we need to partner up. And so we found each other at the Michigan table just a few months later in May. And I learned that, of course, she had been struggling with infertility and had so many different challenges. And the walk putting us together allowed us to become friends. And I'm so glad to have had that experience beyond the walk. I could call her now, text her now and say, hey, how you doing? And our husbands got along, which was wonderful. It started with a lunch date, and we fellowshipped in her home. And I remember as she was preparing for her transfer, before I left her home, I said, we're going to pray. And I grabbed her hands, and we just said a moment of thanks and thanking God in advance for the victory. And I'm so happy to say that she has had her son.
Oh, fantastic.
And so I call him Happy.
That's beautiful.
That is what I call him when I see him.
Yes.
We have had a chance to come together outside, socially distanced. And I said, I'm not, your auntie will hold you later, because right now it's not safe. But I can see you, and I'm so glad. So not that, that is a miracle story. Yes. But the beauty is being able to come together. The point that you made earlier about encouraging hearts, it's not to be forgotten. It's not to be overlooked, because it really makes a difference no matter what the outcome is. To have that support, it means so much.
And love the people, and their children, or not their children. Just love it all.
People.
Yeah, the people.
Love the people.
And in the moment.
And I'm serious. I'm just trying to hold my tears because, and it's because of what you're saying. It's not the ultimate outcome, right?
That's right.
We all, regardless, have those ups and downs and stuff. Right. But when you have somebody that is there, who just loves you and is supporting you and prays for you or whatever, it just makes it worthwhile.
It makes
so
miracles.
Uplifting. Yeah, it's so uplifting. It reminds me. I just have to share that I wrote a book. I mentioned that, and the title is Detours, because there's so many roadblocks and setbacks and U-turns and obstacles that you have to navigate. And but the tagline, I really love the tagline. It's called "Unexpected Journeys of Hope, Conceived from Infertility." And I love that that word "from,"
right? Yeah,
because. To me, now I'm getting the goosebumps. And to me, I feel like the people that you meet, we call them warriors because they really, you know, are resourceful and they want to love a child, and it's primal. It's a primal
it is. You're right.
Absolutely,
right.
to love and carry on the human species, and something you have in your mind from the time you were little. And just to know that there is good that can come from the adversity in life that they're facing as they struggle, and the people that lift them up on their journey. You know, Leandrea mentioned Advocacy Day, and once the Walk of Hope, which happens to be on April 24th, it starts at 11 o'clock. I can tell you more about the virtual program and what else, other activities we have planned for the day. But after that, I'm the state captain for Michigan, and we will be doing Virtual Advocacy Day again this year. And there are bills in Congress that we want to see, either they can help or they can hinder your family building journey. And so we will be meeting. I have state captain meetings already. Advocacy Day is on the 17th of June this year. And we will be talking with our senators and representatives about how important it is to be pro-family and support us on our journeys.
That's I had the opportunity to do that work with the National Breast Coalition, and right, and
together on that.
And it was that was also a phenomenal experience to be in Washington D.C. And talk to our legislators, and just walk the halls.
That's right.
Right to their offices.
Yeah,
now
feel
you're
like
going
you're
to
in
be
the heart
doing
of
it. You're going to be doing it virtually, but I always remember thinking as I was walking that every American should have the opportunity to do this. You know, to meet with their legislators and just get a sense of how it works. And,
I agree.
And how empowering it is. If nothing else, at least you go to bed at night like, I did my best. You know, I did something.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So Sue, would you talk about, so what does the day look like?
Okay, so virtually, again, it's going to be a little different this year because we cannot meet in person due to the pandemic. But at 11 o'clock, we will be having a virtual program. And so we want you to tune in to our Detroit, Michigan Walk of Hope Facebook group, and it will be live on there.
Okay,
and,
so we go to Facebook Live to that. Okay, got it. Okay.
And we start with a very special guest. The president and CEO of Resolve, the National Infertility Association, is going to say a few words shouting out to Detroit. You don't want to miss her speaking. And how important the Walk of Hope is. A few other highlights. We will be having a word from our presenting sponsor, who is RMA of Michigan. That's Reproductive Medical Associates of Michigan. Okay. They have donated thousands of dollars to our fundraising efforts. And we have miracle babies. We have inspirational stories. We have a moment of reflection for those who have suffered losses way too soon. We will have message of hope. Maybe you want to take over from there and chime in with a little bit more about the program, Leandra?
Yes, we'll have a moment of meditation with Yoga Lenny, who will be joining us in an inspirational message from my husband, who will be speaking about hope, right? How fitting for the day. We'll also take the opportunity to recognize the folks who've been working hard fundraising for this event, with recognizing our top 3 individual and top 3 teams who've donated. So we're looking forward to having a wonderful time. The good thing about Facebook is that it'll last, right?
Right.
Yeah.
To it.
So do you have a goal, a set goal that you're a fundraising goal?
Well, we do, but the sky's the limit.
That's right.
Of course.
Yes.
This or
There's something better.
Right. Well, if you go to our website, our fundraising page website, which is give.classy.org/Detroit WOH, you will see a little wheel on there. Our goal is to raise $20,000. Okay. The fundraising teams, you can see you can create your own goal and see how you're progressing as you continue to fundraise peer to peer and whatnot. But yes, Our first year was 15,000, and we reached our goal. We were so pleased.
Oh, congratulations!
So we're, last year we had to do a virtual event because of COVID, and it's hard to believe. But this year, our third annual event, we have to do it virtually again. So,
and I'm sorry, I think I kind of interrupted the flow. So after the presentation on Facebook Live, then what happens?
Can I stop? Sure. What day is this going to be?
Yes, this is on Saturday, the 24th of April, which is the last day of National Infertility Awareness Week. Okay. Infertility Awareness Week starts the 18th and it culminates on the 24th, so that's why we wanted to have this culminating
event. And you said
event.
it starts at 11.
It starts at 11 a.m.
Okay.
Then after that,
we're hoping that folks that will support the event will get outside.
Okay, then you go out and do
your own walk.
DIY walk.
There you go. You got it. DIY walk.
Yeah.
Get some friends together and meet at a local park. Make sure that you're careful. It can be folks in your pod and in your squad, and get together. Put your
anything else that rhymes,
right? Anything else that rhymes, and get outside. Yeah. And so you got all afternoon to do that, and then we'll be coming together for the community building part, which is our Zoom afterglow at 5 p.m. And you will have links available on Facebook. And so we can come together in a way that we can be uplifted and supported in our various journeys. So infertility looks like adoption. It looks like donor, egg, and surrogacy. It looks like still trying to conceive. It looks many different forms.
Right.
And so you'll have an opportunity to gather with others and hopefully connect with someone who is a part of your journey. And if not, we'll all come together to provide support. That's at 5 p.m. The link will be available in our Facebook group, but the same day, Saturday, April the 24th at 5 p.m.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. Well, you had mentioned Afterglow, and kind of as a segue into, do you guys have programs for people? Because I know in my own journey, like when you start in the infertility process, like sex becomes a whole different thing, right? So do you guys have programs for that to help people with that? Because it turns into sort of a chore at some point.
Right. Well, there's all kinds of webinars and events happening all month long. If you go to the resolve.org website and you look for their calendar for National Infertility Awareness Week, they actually have it's more like a month. It's really like everything that we do all year long just kind of culminates in this real intensive, concentrated awareness month. And there you can find sex therapists, you can find discussions with actors and actresses that even are going to be sharing their stories and how empowering your story is. So I hope that answers your question.
For sure.
I can't remember.
You guys have thought of everything in the process.
Right. And even we want you, when you're out walking on Saturday the 24th, rain or shine, take your umbrellas. We want you to wear orange or wear your swag. We're wearing our swag. We have a swag store. You can go to our give.classy.org/Detroit Walk of Hope, and you can click on the link that says swag store, and you can find, long sleeve shirts, T-shirts, unisex shirts, baby onesies.
Oh, fun.
We even have masks, face masks with our logo on it.
I want orange tennies.
Those are fun shirts. And
they're the Detroit Tigers colors.
Go Tigers.
And you're ready.
We hope you'll wear your clothes, and we want you to take photos, take selfies, take socially distanced pictures. We want you to be safe. We want you to walk 6 feet apart, but we want you to enjoy the day, and we would love for you to support us and tag Resolve. Just put at Resolve or at Detroit Michigan Walk of Hope. Post it on your Instagram, if you want to do a TikTok, or post it on Facebook. You can use hashtags NIAW for National Infertility Awareness Week, hashtag 1 and 8, hashtag my favorite, you are not alone in Michigan.
Wow. We're so lucky we say wow on every podcast. We're so lucky to know.
It's just amazing. It's just amazing all that's available. So people are not alone, right?
Right.
Yeah. So what's one thing, we always like to kind of wind up with one thing that you would advise somebody to do if they're hearing this and they need support or would like support, or somebody in their world is struggling?
My first recommendation would be to resist the urge to retreat. Resist the urge to retreat. And so what I mean by that is challenges come and it's so easy to withdraw and to pull away. And my suggestion would be to not do that. To speak to someone that you feel comfortable with about the challenges that you're facing and ask them to support you while you find the support that you need. Be that Resolve, be that the Infertility Advocate, be that Hope Infertility, be that so many other organizations, even in our local area, that exist. I would encourage someone to do not face this alone.
And so if they were going to reach out to you, so
yes.
How would they get a hold of you, Leandra?
Yes, so I'm available at hopeinfertility.org. I'm also on Facebook at Hope Infertility, on Instagram, Hope_Fertility. And I am so honored to work. I do this faithfully, right? We're volunteers. Yes. Ultimately, that's what we are.
We are, right?
Yeah, it's volunteers. And I do that to help the hurting and to heal the broken. That's the mission of the time that I sow. So I'm happy to do that. And if I'm not the one, that's the beauty of this community. We love to connect, right? To get you to the place that you need to be so that you can have the support that you deserve.
Yeah, find the person that can support you.
Correct.
Yeah.
Right. And so, Sue, if somebody wanted to connect with you, how would they do that?
Well, you can go to my website, which is theinfertilityadvocate.com. You can learn all about the advocacy work and I have a blog there. You can read inspirational messages. You can read about my book there, a little bit about my journey and my sponsors and resources. And my support groups. You can call me. Just pick up the phone and text me. Sometimes that phone can feel so heavy, but I've had people just text me from a Starbucks and they're weeping and feel like they need support. And my phone number, just 734-546-8589. You do not have to go through this alone. And I'm here for you. You can check out our Detroit, Michigan Walk of Hope Facebook group. And then I have my Infertility Advocate Facebook group as well. And I like to make sure that you know that there's a dash between the in and fertility. That dash is as important to me as the word from earlier. Because that means I am wishing you fertility, infertility, and friendship.
Oh, how lovely.
Well, I know. I've known Sue for many years, and she is a master networker and manifester. She knows how to make stuff happen.
She made a child happen, right?
Yeah, a little help from God and my friends. It takes a village.
And your husband, I'm
Yes. Even though he was in a different city at the time. Frozen embryos. There's a technology is amazing. Yeah. But yes, it does take a village. And I also want to chime in and say, Leandrea's message of you don't have to be alone. Reach out. Don't navigate this by yourself. But also be kind to yourself. Take care of yourself. Right?
Because we can be our own worst enemy.
It can feel so. You can feel so shamed, and you can feel so inadequate or broken, and just feel like, why is my body betraying me? Why is my God betraying me? You can have those thoughts, but truly God is holding your hand. He's holding you up. He's helping you walk through your journey, and he's helping you make the connections that will see you to the other side.
Well, and I loved the way your tagline on your book, right? I mean, you don't know what the journey is going to bring.
Right.
When you meet this person, it could have nothing to do with fertility, right? It could have everything to do with something else. That's right.
And you're supposed to be there.
Right. And you're supposed, right. So we just don't know, but when we can have that faith.
Right.
You guys are beautiful.
Yeah. Thank you.
And I want to be in your friends.
So lovely, Leandra and Sue. Thank you so much. Right. And the magazine, we talk a lot about being kind to yourself and support.
We do.
And we know it's hard, but we're here for you, and we're all in progress, and we're all evolving. So
and whatever the challenge or the journey is, we're here. I mean,
and it's okay.
It is okay. And there's nothing like having community. And so again, Good Fat Life. Go to goodfatlife.com, and we have a new issue coming out tomorrow.
Yeah, for Bloom, so we can get out there and start living our good life.
I can't wait to read that issue.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
Impressed.
Yeah, so I think it's time to go bloom and go live our good fat life, don't you?
Thank you.
Bye-bye, Karen, until next week, right?
Right.